Okay, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hopefully, everyone can hear me. If the audio is good, would you mind placing a one in the chat for me? I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, Sabrina says hello. Sabrina, could you do me a favor and just tell me if the audio is fine? All right, we got Nina Marie in the house. Thank you so much, Nina, for tuning in. Thank you, Sabrina, for taking time out of your busy schedule. Okay, so Sabrina gave me a one. I got Nina in the house. Thank you so much for tuning in, Nina. Natty B, thank you so much. Aisha, she said, "Oh Lord, not a Grambling shirt." What's wrong with Grambling, Asia May? Did you somebody? She said, "Oh no, not Grambling." It's called product placement. All right, so let's see. It looks like we have what? We got five in the building. So we'll go ahead and get started. First of all, thank you so much for once again taking time out of your schedule to tune into my video tonight. Uh, I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you for the continued support. Thank you for the subscription levels that are increasing. Thank you for the kind and generous comments and emails that have been left. Thank you for watching the live streams as well and commenting on those. I've been getting some very, very positive comments. Just to give you an update on some things, uh, I'm currently working on a website that's going to allow one-on-one consulting. A lot of people have inquired about that. You know, if I will be offering those services, and yes, I will. The initial launch date is scheduled for Monday, August the 25th. So I'll make sure that I keep you posted on those details as well. But again, my website is currently under development, and I will be offering one-on-one consultations for anyone who may be interested. So let's go ahead and get started on tonight's. I'm sorry, I wanted to say video. Tonight's live video. So let's go ahead and get started. Tonight we're going to be talking about moving on, picking up. Sorry, tongue tied. Picking up the pieces. All right. So I've been getting a lot of emails concerning ladies as far as having ending a relationship and then moving on, you know, regrouping and picking up the pieces and starting. I wouldn't say starting over, but you know, you're picking up the pieces and you know you're getting yourself back in order to eventually get into the dating scene once again. So just again, the title of this show is Elderly Advice. I'm just giving you advice from a male perspective. What I would advise you, especially when we talk about picking up the pieces, is first make sure you go through the healing process. But let's say, okay, I went through the healing process. I'm ready to get back on that horse. The first thing I would advise you to do is ask yourself, you know, what type of man am I looking for? And if you know what type of man you're looking for, you got to ask yourself, do 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 I know what it takes to not only attract the man but to keep him? Because I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of ladies out there. You probably have absolutely no problem attracting a man, but I think a lot of times the question needs to be asked: uh, Are you prepared, or do you know what it takes to actually keep a man? And I think one of the biggest misconceptions out there when we talk about keeping a man is keeping him satisfied sexually. So we're going to talk about that tonight as well because uh, I'm pretty sure we all can agree that in a lot of instances, sex can play out. So it's going to take a lot more than sex. It's going to take a lot more than food. It's going to take a lot more than those two things that a lot of times maybe people may think that those are the main two things that they need in order to keep a man satisfied. But it's going to take more than that. So we're talking about picking up the pieces, rearranging your life, getting back on that horse again, getting ready to date, getting ready to, put yourself back there on the market, things to look out for, things to take heed of, especially if some of you ladies are planning on doing the online dating. You got to be very, very, very careful with the online dating because it's so easy for men to masquerade and hide behind a computer screen and just put up some pictures of themselves, their profile, and come up with some catchy titles and some phrases that about their hobbies and their interests and things of that nature. And if you're not careful, a lot of times, especially if you find the guy attractive, you're just looking at his pictures, you're reading a couple of things about him, his hobbies, things that he likes to do. You may find out that he's world traveled or, very cultured, or, you may find out that you have some things in common with him, some common interest. But at the end of the day, you still have to understand that it's still words. And it's still a picture that you're seeing of him. In other words, if he contacts you over, a dating app or whatnot, it's still words. It's still, phrases that were typed up on a computer screen. In other words, online dating is very, very, very difficult to really, really vet somebody properly, in my estimation, because once again, online dating is a player's dream. What do I mean by online dating is a player's dream? It's a player's dream because all you have to do, like I said, is just, take some pictures, your best pictures, your most attractive pictures, come up with a nice catchy phrase and, talk about some of the things that you like to do. But it's so hard to actually see the inside of a person when you're dealing with that person online. It's so hard to understand that person's true intentions, when you're talking to someone online. And it's so easy for someone to come up with crafty words and phrases while online dating. And with the online dating, once again, there's a very good chance that the person is on multiple dating sites, the man is on multiple dating sites, and he's already talking to multiple women. So those are some of the things that you have to consider. So let's say you're the type of lady that does not like online dating, and you say, well, online dating is not for me. Too many fakes out there. Too many people disguising themselves. And you're the type that likes to meet a guy face to face. So now you got to come up with some places that you feel, some viable places that you feel that men may attend. Let me help you out on some of those things. Men like sporting events. Are you ladies interested in, possibly going to a basketball game or going to a football game, or this time of year it's baseball season? Are you interested in going to a cigar bar? Not saying you have to. Some of you may not like smoke, but you got to start thinking about going to places where men frequent a lot. So when you start talking about sporting events, cigar bars, sports bars, the wing stops, things of that nature, cultural events, the arts, the opera, you would be surprised how culturally diverse some men are. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to just lump all men into one category and say, okay, I'll just go to a football game, I'll go to a basketball game. No. Don't be afraid to go to a Whole Foods. You'd be surprised the quality of men who shop at Whole Foods. Don't be afraid to go to a mall. Don't be afraid to go to, a park or a playground or a dog park. I mean, a library. It's so many variety of places in which you can go to meet men, but you got to get out the house. You got to get out the house, because once again, if you're the type of lady who's you don't want to do the online thing, and if that's your position, I totally agree with you. But you cannot sit in that house. It's not going to fall. Nothing is going to fall out of the sky. So you're going to have to make up your mind. You got to get out. Some of the places that I called out, you may not be interested in those. That's fine too. But you still are going to have to get out and go to some places where men are, where you can be noticed. Now, once again, this is only advice. Can't tell you how to dress, but my advice to you would be dress as feminine as possible. Because if you really want to stand out, you really want to stop us in our tracks, you really want to get our undivided attention, femininity, skirts, dresses, heels, those type of things. So again, can't tell you how to dress, totally up to you. But femininity attracts masculinity. Always has, always will. So if you want to stop traffic, you want all eyes on you, men just, when we give you that glaze where that stare where we just follow, our eyes just follow you everywhere you go, and you may be shopping in your favorite store. You may be on one aisle, and then the next you go on the other side of the store, and you peep over your shoulder, and you see us again, and you're like, damn, didn't I just see you in the produce section? Now you over on this section. Then you may go to another part of the store, and you may peep over your shoulder. You see us at that side of the store. So trust me, we're not stalking. Not all the time anyway, but the majority of the time we're not stalking. But I promise you, it's just that femininity. It's a very, very, very attractive thing. All right. So phone lines are open. We got 17 in the building. We got a lot of, I'm starting to recognize a lot of familiar faces. 78 Days is in the house. Thank you so much. Somebody said hello from Texas. She called in a few weeks ago, if I remember correctly, from Fort Worth, from Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. LVNCSR. If I'm not mistaken, aren't you the lady I spoke with a few weeks ago from Dallas, Texas? So phone line is open. Anybody want to call in? This may be an abbreviated show. I got 7:15 my time. We may. Wait a minute. Who is that from New Orleans? Whoever. I got to put you up there. All right. If you from New Orleans, you got to call in. You right down the street from me. Back in the old days, I'm getting off topic, but back in the old days, people used to refer to New Orleans as the city. In Baton Rouge, we used to say, man, what are you doing this weekend? We would say, man, I'm going to the city. So everybody knew that meant I'm going to New Orleans. And then you may have some friends in New Orleans, they would talk about Baton Rouge. They would call us the country. And so you ask somebody from New Orleans, what is the country? They say Baton Rouge. So we've always had that thing going on. But Scott, if you're listening to me, do people still refer to New Orleans as the city? Because that was the thing back then. And then a lot of people from New Orleans, they had that attitude. They'd be like, man, I'm from the city, man. Are you crazy? I'm from the city. I'm gonna show you Baton Rouge and Shreveport and Lafayette people something. She said, yep, they still call it the city. All right, good. Some things never change. All right, so again, phone lines are open. We're talking about moving on, picking up the pieces, dating life, good places to meet men at. If anybody wants to comment on that, I threw out some good, what I consider some good places where men hang out, where women who are looking to get back in the dating scene Men, we love sports. You can go to sporting events, football, baseball, basketball games. Essence Festival is around the corner, things of that nature. Don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to travel. If you're in Houston, Texas, don't be afraid to go to Galveston. If you're in New Orleans, don't be afraid to go to Baton Rouge. Or, if you're in Los Angeles, don't be afraid to venture out, travel to San Diego or something. So you would be surprised, once again, ladies, how many men are looking for the same thing that you're looking for: a solid relationship, committed relationship, marriage, no games, and, all the foolishness that's out there right now. You would be surprised how many men are in the same ballpark, want the same things as you, but what's holding us back? It's that connection. Where are you going to meet them at? So, once again, do not be afraid to get out of the comfort zone. Hello, caller. How you doing tonight?
How you doing, Okoye? This is S. Scott from NOLA.
Hey, my neighbor? How are you doing?
Doing well, and yourself?
Now, wait a minute. I do not detect the New Orleans accent now. Usually, I could detect the New Orleans accent way, way, way around the corner. It's usually, hey, baby, how you doing now?
Oh, I am NOLA, born and raised, baby.
Now we cooking. That's the city accent right there. How you doing tonight?
I grew up in Holly Grove, the Carrollton area, not far from Xavier University.
Yeah, look, I hear that accent now. You got some burrow crawfish down there?
That's probably on the menu tomorrow.
I know that's right. What you got for me tonight?
Well, I think I've asked this question before, but you get a lot of comments, so it kind of gets overlooked. So what do us women? How do we spot a man that has been, healed? What type of dialogue or what's the conversation? What should help us to realize that this guy has been through something? He's healed from it, and he is possibly ready to move in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. The best thing I could tell you is that not only is he talking on the same level that you're talking on, but he's actually respecting everything that you're doing. For example, if you're the type of lady that likes to take things slow, see a man who's healed, he's not going to try and rush nothing. He's not going to try and meet you and within, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, get you in the bed or, try and manipulate you or play games. If he's totally healed, he's going to be on the same page that you are. What you have to do is you just have to make sure that you have something in process, some type of system in process that he could gravitate to, and then you can drive the car in the initial stages of the relationship. And then if that's the man that you select to be the man for you, for a possible relationship, then, you just go ahead and relinquish that steering wheel and let him drive. But once again,
okay,
it's gonna take not only conversation, because I'm a firm believer conversation, especially coming from a man, basically is nothing, because we will lie. But yeah, we will. But it's going to be the conversation combined with whatever system you have in place, and that's why I highly recommend start off as friends, take things extremely slow, and you'll find out real quick if he's healed. Because as I said earlier, if he's healed, nowhere in the world he's going to try and get you in bed that quick, because a healed man understands, that's going to blow it. That's going to mess it up. It's something about sex too early. Once you do it, it's like you can't go back to where you were initially. It's like you can't go backwards. So it's either going to be some type of sexual relationship, or it's going to be enhanced, or it's going to work, or it's not going to work. But like I said, if he's healed, you not only will you hear it in his conversation, you'll hear it in his tone. And like I said, he's not going to try and sabotage anything that you have in place, especially if you have a system in place to take things slow. So let's say you only want to, let's say your system is, well, I only want to date you maybe once a week because I just want to take things slow. I just don't want to jump out there and put my feelings out there on the line. I just want to, date you once a week, physically date you once a week where we go, but we can conversate. If he's here, he's not going to say, you know what, we need to date each other. I need to see you 3 times a week. I need to see you twice a week. I need to see you. His number is not going to trump the number that you put out there. Or what he wants to do is, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I see. So you're saying that basically he'll go ahead on and honor what I want and not pressure or try to force anything.
That's right. But the key is you got to have a system in place that he has to, walk down that path with you. So if you got that system in place, hey, you stick with it. And if he's totally healed, he'll take those steps, every step with you with no complaints. But,
okay, that's something to note. Okay.
Yeah. But,
I mean, I do believe that, of course, you always follow the actions of a man, but I see what you're saying. If he is, totally serious about a relationship, then he'll go ahead on and honor what it is that's important to you.
To you.
Well, to us as women. Okay.
See, that's the initial stages, because I'm just a firm believer that a lady, you have all the leverage, you have all the advantages, you have all the cachet in the initial stages of a relationship. We're going to follow your lead. And that's why it's very important that you have some type of system in place, because I promise you, we're going to follow your lead. And a healed man, as I said earlier, he's not going to try and overthrow anything that you have out there. He's just going to follow it, because that's the respect and the admiration that he has for you. Because when you healed, you realize that you've caused so much damage in prior relationships. You don't want to go through that no more. I've met somebody good. I've met somebody worthy. I've met somebody who I want to be with. I'm not going to mess this up. So if this is the system that she has in place, this is what she wants me to do, this is what I'm going to do.
That's good. That's good right there.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go any further. I want that to sink in, that we should just be able to be taken at face value for what we want and not be forced or pressured into anything. I mean, even if it's as harmful as a date, the next day or the next couple of days. If I don't want to do that, then you shouldn't force that. I like that.
That's it.
Okay.
All right. Let me know when you got a crawfish burrow. Invite me to one of them.
All right. I am going to let. All right, I'll keep that in mind. I'll let some of the other ladies get in. And thank you. I mean, it's a joy, catching you on Mondays and Thursdays. It's awesome that you take time to do that.
Oh, thank you. No problem. I really enjoy it. You have a good night, yeah?
All right, you too.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that was a great phone call from my homegirl from Louisiana, right down the road in New Orleans, Louisiana. One of Frankie Beverly's. See, you young ladies, you young men, I just threw out a name, Frankie Beverly. That was one of Frankie Beverly's favorite places to have a concert. New Orleans, Louisiana. Put your hands together. Let me stop. I might lose the few people I got in. I don't want to hear nothing about no Frankie Beverly. I want to hear something else. All right. That was an excellent call. And the phone lines are open. Let's see. Any comments? Again, thank you, Ms. Scott, for calling in. Somebody said Mays. Yeah. Yeah, Mays. It seems like Mays, for some reason, he loved New Orleans and Los Angeles. I mean, that group, they traveled a lot of places, but it looks like whenever they did their live recordings, for some reason they either chose New Orleans or Los Angeles, or maybe it's just me. But all right, so picking up the pieces once again, we're talking about getting back on that horse, getting back on that saddle, meeting men meeting women. Once again, don't be afraid to travel out of your comfort zone. No matter what city. Somebody said, before I let you go. I got to put that one up. That's right. Yeah. Don't be afraid to venture out of your city. Now, I'm not saying drive, 2, 3, 4 hours out. No. I'm saying, whatever city you live in, I'm pretty sure you got some surrounding towns or suburbs that are out there. For example, I've found that I meet a lot of quality women playing miniature golf. We have one of those miniature golf places here, and a lot of men love to play the golf, the miniature golf, and that's another place. Don't sleep on that. Don't sleep on the coffee houses. As I said, sporting events are good, but you don't have to put your whole kid and caboodle in sporting goods. Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. A lot of men are into healthy eating, and you'd be surprised how many men go shopping at places like Whole Foods on Saturday mornings, or Sunday afternoon. I would say maybe anywhere from 1 o'clock to about maybe 3:30. Why is that? Because a lot of men are getting out of church. So, I'm telling you, ladies, whatever you're looking for, there are a lot of quality men looking for the same thing you are, and there's a good chance, no matter what city that you're in. There's a good chance he's in that same city. You just gotta make that connection. You gotta be in that right place. Online dating, hey, if that's what you like, fine with me. But so many game players. Man, the game players are online. I mean, it's very, very hard to vet a man online. If I were a woman, if I were doing online dating, I'd have to vet him at least, oh my goodness, some months. No, indeed. What is that? What is that term called? Catfish and all that stuff? No. All right. So, phone lines are open. If anybody would like to call in, if anybody would like to comment, if anybody would like to comment on what we're talking about tonight, maybe some ladies, you've met some nice women on different sites. I'm sorry, different locations that I did not throw out. Maybe you can give us some tips on places. Of course, you got the random places, pumping gas, things of that nature. But I mean the places that, a lot of people, will frequent and maybe stay there, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours or whatnot. So a lot of interesting things out there, a lot of interesting places where men can be met. All right. So once again, phone lines are open. Lady Ray is in the house. Thank you so much, Lady Ray, for tuning in. I appreciate that. Again, thanks everyone for taking time out of their busy schedule. Right now, I think we got 27 people in the building. Thank you so much. There are so many other things that you could be doing tonight, but you took time out to tune into my video, and I really appreciate it. This may be a video that ends early tonight, depending on the amount of calls that I got. Monday was a great show. So many great calls. I really hope it's one particular call that happened this time last week where a lady called in and she talked about some of the characteristics of a man that she met. And when she was describing his characteristics, I stated in my opinion that the man was married, just based on some of the things that she said about him. So I cannot remember her name. I may have to go back and pull that live stream up and look at it again. But hopefully, if you're in the building tonight, you're in the chat, you would call in. I would really like to get an update on that. Because if anybody remembers my advice that I gave her, the advice that I gave her to test it is tell him that, you want to surprise him and take him out to dinner or something of that nature that deals with a surprise. You want to surprise him and take him out to lunch. That doesn't mean you have to take him out to lunch, but I just meant throwing out the suggestion just to see what he says. Because if he's a married man, one of the things about married men hate surprises. They married men hate things that are spontaneous. Why? Because that's throwing them off. See, married men have to take time to figure out how to plan things. And that's one of the signs in which you can spot, if somebody's married or if they're in a committed relationship. And that's why, another reason why I tell ladies that in the initial stages, I feel that you should be calling the shots as far as the time and location of dates. Because married men, the married men who are lurking behind the scenes and claiming to be single or going through a divorce or recently divorced, even though they're still married. See, what they want to do is they want to make sure that they call the shots during the dating phase. Okay, we're going to meet Thursday night at 7 o'clock. We're going to meet Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. We're going to meet Saturday night or Saturday afternoon at 2:30. Why? Because they already cleared their schedule how to get away at Saturday at 2:30 or Thursday at 8 p.m. or whatnot. They've already figured it out. Or they've already mapped it out, how that specific time slot is going to work out for them to be able to get free at that particular time. But once again, it has to be on their agenda. It has to be on their time schedule. So when you start throwing out spontaneous things, such as, hey, you know what? I was thinking about you today. Let's have lunch together at 2 o'clock. I know we didn't plan it, but hey, both of our schedules are free at that time. Let's do that. See, married men are like, let me get back with you. So, somebody said Home Depot. That's a great place. I forgot about Home Depot. Yes. Lady Ray said Home Depot is good. I saw a lot of men there just out of my age. She said, now wait a minute. What does that mean, just out of my age bracket? Were they Charmaine Joseph. Charmaine, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for those kind comments that you've been leaving on my videos. I really appreciate it. Don't be a stranger. Please call in. But again, when I receive those type of comments from people like Miss Joseph and other people, when you leave those on my video, it's really helpful to me because it lets me know that I'm providing something that's helping a lot of ladies. Because if you don't understand how treacherous this dating scene is, you could easily find yourself in what David Brunson said, a sticky situation. Because you got a lot of wolves in sheep clothing out here that are looking for people who cannot spot some of the devices and some of the plots and some of the schemes that they have in place. And so if you're not able to spot those things, for some men, they consider that as a win-win-win. So I think I've told you enough the situation that I saw my mother go through, and I don't wish that on any lady. What I saw my mother go through with my father, it wasn't a very, very pleasant thing. And my dad, he was just rolling like an 18-wheeler. He didn't care, not at all. So At the same time, I'm not going to sit up here and play like I'm a hypocrite. I'm not a saint either. You know, it's a lot of relationships that I was in, women who I should have married or should have settled down with or whatnot. You know, a lot of things I did in my past I'm not proud of. But once again, that's why it's called the past. You know, they got to leave some things in the past. I'm not a biblical scholar, but I was listening to a preacher the other day, and he quoted something from the Bible where I think it was Jesus said, he without any sin cast the first stone. So, you know, if I know I'm not perfect, so if anybody out there is perfect, I definitely would like to meet you. All right, natural grinding majority said the majority probably won't be single and marriage minded. Oh, okay. I'm 26 and they were like 50 or 60 out of my age bracket. I totally respect that. But going back to Home Depot, I mean, you can meet some very, very, very nice men there. But as 78 Days stated, they may be older, you know, because, you know, a lot of older men own homes. That's why, again, if you could handle, well, okay, I'm not saying go there, but you would be surprised, or you may not be surprised of the quality of men that hang out, especially young men, young professionals. I would say, you know, from the ages of 21 to about 33, 34, that hang out in cigar bars. Now, if you can't handle that smoke, hey, that's totally up to you. I respect that. But cigar bars are hugely popular with the young professional men all around the United States. Then you may be saying, well, I don't like a man who smokes. But usually men who go to the cigar bars, you know, they may puff a cigar. Usually a lot of those guys don't smoke cigarettes. They may just puff on that cigar maybe once a week, twice a week. In other words, it's not a habitual thing where they're, you know, doing it every day, and as soon as one goes out, they got to light another one. But again, you can meet some very, very nice professional men. Another thing, don't be afraid, whatever city you're in, start taking your lunch break downtown if you have enough time. Because downtown, pretty much wherever city you live in, you're going to meet a lot, or you can run into a lot of young, professional, and progressive men. You know, attorneys and CPAs and people who work for the government, people who work for the city, you know, stable jobs. And, you know, so again, just don't limit yourself. And the last thing you should be doing is, once again, just staying in that house, because nothing's going to happen. You stay in that doggone house. You can forget about that. Mr. Call, sorry about that. All right, somebody called from a 443 number. There we go. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, how are you doing?
Hello.
Yes. Yes. What is your name and where are you calling from?
So my name is Rihanna. I am from London.
Wow.
And I really, really love your channel. It's really, really helps me, and I feel like a lot of the things that you say are so true. And, you know, like, I'm young, I am 22, and I feel like I'm so naive, and like I've just fallen into so many silly traps. But through your channel, it's just been so helpful.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
it.
So,
for example, yeah, like for example, I remember like a few days ago, actually, a guy asked for my number, and I said no. And then I suggested that, he should have my email address, and he basically felt like belittled, so he rejected that.
Mm-hmm.
And then literally like a few minutes afterwards, I saw him try to get another girl's number across the road. So I was just like, oh my gosh, everything that this man has been saying is so true.
Yeah.
Because it just allows me to avoid, a big mistake there. So, yeah.
Yeah, huge mistake. And thank you for bringing that up, because that's one of the things I always try and emphasize to ladies. See, you have to understand, ladies, just because a man asks you for his phone number, one of the worst things you can do is actually give it to him, because he's already got so many numbers he's dealing with already.
Yeah.
If you had a crystal ball and you could have saw that man operating before he met you, he probably approached at least 10 women to try and get their phone numbers before he even ran across you. And then after you went your way and he went his way afterwards, he probably tried to get some more phone numbers after that encounter. So thank you so much for bringing that up.
Yeah. I literally saw him across the road a few minutes afterwards, and he said to me, you win some, you lose some. And I was like, oh my God, what elderly advice said on YouTube is so true.
It's so true. I tell you, it's the numbers game.
Yeah. That's when like the shock was just so real, and I've just watched every single one of your videos. Mm-hmm. And so my question for you is about online dating, and it's like, how do we approach that aspect? Because I feel like it's a lot different, and it's much more like difficult.
Yes. First of all, again, thank you for calling in. Thank you for watching my videos, and thank you for your compliments. I really appreciate those. To get to your question,
thank you for helping us.
I'm sorry.
No, I said thank you for helping us.
Oh, no problem. Online dating, your vetting process has to be very, 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 very thorough, because as I stated earlier, it's so easy. See, online dating is a players, a dog, a hole, a alpha male, a F boy, those types. It's their dream come true, because all they have to do is put up some pictures. Let's say it's a bad guy and he has a little money. See, they're going to put up some pictures. They're going to post their cars. They're going to post their houses. They're going to post some of their jewelry. And see, they're going to post these things to make themselves look so attractive and make themselves look so good. And, I'm this catch, and, look at the things, the lifestyle that I can offer you. But with online dating, it's so hard to find out what's beneath this flesh. Because all men have an inside, all men have a flesh, all men have, some traits in them. And when you talk about the bad guys who are out there just to try and use women up for sex, or try and get some F buddies, or they just want friends with benefits. And the sad thing about it is, if that's their intentions, why not just put that out there? Okay, I'm just looking for an F buddy. I'm just looking for friends with benefits or whatnot. But they don't put that out there. They'll say, I'm looking for a girlfriend. I'm looking for my future wife. I'm looking for a lady who we can build something together. And they know it's a lie. You're not looking for that. So again, it's so hard with online dating to get to the inside, to find out the core, what makes them tick, or the lies that they, it's kind of hard to to find out they're liars or manipulators or players, because once again, all they're doing is posting pictures and some pretty catchy phrase type words that look good and sound good, and they just hoping that they'll catch someone who's interested in those type of things, and they just try and hide behind that computer screen.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
you're in London?
Yes, I'm in London.
Yeah. Now again, I'm on the outside looking in, but I had
Mhm.
the chance to visit London on several occasions.
Really?
I equate London to basically I would say pretty much New York City as far as
Yeah.
it's a huge city with a lot of people. Uh, do,
A
do
lot of
do
people
you just
say that.
prefer the online dating?
Yes, I do both. I do go out as well.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just it, it's really difficult.
Wow.
It's really difficult. The dating scene it
Hmm.
is it's just awful. A lot of like players, and that's what I said. Like I haven't had my dad in my life, so I've literally fell for so many stupid traps that I just regret so much. And now I'm just like really trying to make those decisions. And I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
also going to say, could you also do a video on um, how can on like what type of guys we should like, what type of qualities, what types of like examples of things that of the things that we should look for in a man, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm writing it down right now. Yes, I sure will. Let me just help you out on something real quickly. See,
Hmm.
okay, you talked about some of the mistakes that you've made in the past and you regret it. See, what I want you to
Hmm.
do is as hard as you can. I know it's not easy, but you got to
Hmm.
learn to just let the past be in the past. See, that's over with. You don't
Hmm.
dwell in the past because a lot of times, see, if you find yourself dwelling in the past or living in the past, what you'll do is you'll start to beat yourself up. And
Mm.
see, what you're doing is it's almost like you're putting yourself in a prison, in a mental prison. So leave the past in the past. See, today is a new day. So I want you to start looking at today as new beginnings, as a new person. You know, those things happen. Hey, no matter how you think about it, guess what? We can't change it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's absolutely nothing we can do to change that. Everybody has made mistakes. Everybody has played the fool. Everybody has been somebody's fool at one point in life. But hey, don't beat yourself
Hmm.
up. Don't beat yourself up about that. Just leave that in the past and just start looking at today as a new day, as a new beginning, a new chapter in your life. Because I promise you, as I said earlier, what you are
Hmm.
looking for, the type of man you are looking for, I promise you, he's looking for you as well. Yes, he is. But again,
Hmm.
you got to put yourself in the right position. Do you consider yourself an outgoing type of lady? You get out of the house, you may go to a coffee shop, or you may go to a mall, or you may go to a park, or you may go to a grocery store. Do you find yourself going to different places, or taking walks downtown and things of that nature?
Yes, I would say here and there, but a lot of the time I am busy working, so I do that mostly like on the weekends.
Okay,
So I tend to like go out more on the weekends
on
and
the
have
weekend.
days out, coffee shops and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But again, I'm on the outside looking in. But I would have thought London would be an ideal place
A lot of
because
people say that, but it's it's just as I think it's much more difficult. I mean, yes, I am young, and I would say that I am very good looking,
mhm.
but it's still very hard to find like a good guy, especially when you are good looking, because a lot of guys would just try and get sex off you, or just try and like just play you, and yeah.
Amen, amen to that. Amen to that. But for 22 years old, I mean, you got a lot of wisdom. You have
Yeah.
you have a lot of wisdom, and that's a good thing. But like I said
Yeah,
earlier, I, I,
I was
I would
brought
just
up
like
in
you.
church.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said yeah because I was brought up in church. So I've always like known like I want to be married. I want to be a godly wife and things like that.
I understand. Wow. I guarantee you, young lady, that there are a lot of men, once again, that are looking for you. Um, what about church? I know some of the game players, those type of men, they'll pop up in church as well. But have you had? Do you go to church, or anybody that caught your eye in churches? Maybe you can visit different churches.
Yes, I have dated some guys at church. I think sometimes a little bit too spiritual sometimes, or like hide behind spirituality,
Hmm.
um, or maybe they're not. I don't know. I don't know, but I do think I do need to visit church more because the last church I was going to anyway, it closed down
Hmm.
during the pandemic, so
Hmm.
I do need to visit church more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, I don't know if you have a church home or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure your church are. If you visit some churches, they have what's called a singles ministry, and you would be
Hmm.
surprised of the amount of available nice young men and nice young ladies that are members of the church singles ministry. And so, if you're looking for that type of man, that Christian man who's gonna, head up a Christian household, you have excellent values. But I just think if you put yourself more in positions where you can meet those type of men, and once again, the
Mm.
Christian single ministry at at a place like London, I mean, I'm pretty sure 80% of the churches have a singles ministry in London.
Yeah, they have something similar, or yeah.
Yeah. Have you tried it, or have you had any luck with that, or what? Are they playing games
No, I
too?
haven't tried it. So my little issue is that I came from a church where it was very controlling. So that was one of
Uh,
the reasons why it was closed down. So we weren't really allowed to date, actually.
mm-hmm,
So that was one of the issues. So
mm-hmm.
now it's like finding a new church or finding a new place. So yeah,
Wow.
but I haven't tried it.
Haven't tried it. Okay, okay, okay. Well,
Yeah, but
the
you're right. I think
yeah,
this Sunday I might even go to church.
yeah. Now, the next piece of advice I'm going to give you, and you may have heard this in my videos.
Hmm.
Whatever your standards are, young lady, you hold on to your standards and do not lower them for anyone. All right, I'm gonna say that again. Whatever your
Hmm.
standards are, you hold on to your standards. Don't compromise your standards, and don't lower your standards. I don't care who the man is, because the man that's tailored fit for you, the man of your dreams, the man who's going to treat you like the queen that you are, when he sees that you have high standards, I guarantee you he's going to come up to that level. Wherever your standards are, and that's one of the things I always try and tell ladies. If you got low standards, that man is going to meet you right there at those low standards. He ain't coming any higher. But if you got high standards, he's going to come up to those high standards. And whatever you do, don't drop them. Because once again, the man that you're searching for, the man of your dreams, your future husband or whatnot, he will climb all those standards that you have, and he's not going to even try and get you to compromise your standards and come down off of them. So you just got to hold on to that, because
Yeah.
you got to be very, very, very strong, because at the end of the day, we like what we like. And sometimes these two eyes, sometimes these things, young lady, can play tricks on us. And sometimes we can see something that,
Hmm.
that, that looks so good, and man, they so fine and sexy, and these two eyes are, but we absolutely know nothing about their insides. And sometimes we can let those type of people in our life, and sometimes
Hmm.
it could be 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years of holy hell. Like, God, dog, I can't get rid of you. So again, keep your standards high and do not drop them for nothing. The man of your dreams will be glad you have standards, and he's going to meet you at those standards every time.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
I just want to say just thank you. Just thank you and just keep doing these videos because they are really, really like powerful. I'm not kidding. Like, especially for us women who, haven't got like a father figure. So we actually don't know a lot of these things and we're just so, like we need men like you. We need good men like you. Like we really do. So
Yeah.
I
Thank you
just
so
want to
much.
say just thank you.
Yes, yes. Listen, don't be a stranger. You can call in. You can email me. I always return emails within 3 or 4 hours. So you can email me or you can call in or whatnot. You know, but
Definitely.
yeah, yeah. But thank you so much for calling in and thank you for those kind words. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, you have a good night.
You too.
All
Bye.
right, all right. Phone lines are open. Let's give her a standing ovation for that phone call. People, let me tell you something. That takes a lot of guts with that young lady for her to call in and for her to be so transparent and talk about some of the things that she's going through, especially at 22 years old. Uh, that's a very, very, very fragile age. Even though biologically, yeah, yeah, at 22 you're grown, you're an adult, but at the same time, when you talk about in jumping out, as we used to say back in the old days, jumping off the porch, and you get into this dating scene with guys who got 5, 10, 15 years of experience, and in a lot of cases they can spot a new fish that's on the hook, or whatever. They could spot when someone has good morals and good characteristics, but they may not recognize the game that they're running on them or things of that nature. 22 is a very, very, very fragile age, and again, you young ladies, you got to be careful. You got to have a vetting system in place, because man, we got some vultures out here. There's got some vultures. And what is a vulture looking for? A vulture is looking for weakness. They're looking for a dead carcass, and see in today's world, like I always say, this doggone thing right here, people. This thing has just changed the whole landscape for men, especially the a-holes and the players and just the men with these horrible intentions. It has changed the whole landscape for them to prosper. I said prosper, not be exposed, not decrease, but prosper. Why? The doggone numbers just have increased. Man, you got men today, they don't mind getting in their car, driving an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours away from their hometown to meet somebody in a different city that they just ran a game on, to get sex from that woman, or get money from that woman, or manipulate that woman, or dig into her bank account, dig into her savings account, dig into her 401k account, her retirement account, Roth IRAs. These guys ain't playing. Man, they got young men out there just looking for older women. Why? Because you got that nest egg. Yeah, bro, man, she got that retirement account. Oh, yeah, she been in the Teachers Federal Credit Union for 35 years. Oh, what? She worked for Exxon Shell for 40 years, 30 years, and her husband died? What? Her husband died too? and he retired from Exxon or Shell, or he was a CEO at this company or whatnot. He died and left her all that big nest egg. And I know she's sleeping in that big old house on that hill in that gated community in that king size bed by herself. Shh. What? Boy, I'm getting ready to go to work. Man, I'm going to get me one of these ladies. And hey, the older ladies my age, hey, that nest egg that you worked all those years for, shh, boy, you better be strong. Because them young boys, they'll come at you like, they the best things since sliced bread. And all they thinking about, ooh, boy, your husband left you pretty. Not only did your husband that died, or you got that divorce settlement from, not only did he leave you pretty, you sitting pretty too. Because you've been working for 20 years, 15, 20 years on your job. And you got your retirement, and you got your savings, and you got your checking account, and you got your stocks and your bonds and your IRA accounts. You got your CDs. Yeah. I heard you talking about your financial planner, what he told you. And some of y'all revealing to that stuff to these men. When I just got off the phone with my financial planner, boy, his antenna went up. Who? What you said? You got off the phone with who? Your financial planner. Oh, Lord, I got to hurry up and get you in the bed. Hey, man, this thing real out here. What? Man, they got some men just fresh out of jail. Fresh out the penitentiary. Body looking like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Looking for you. I ain't got no car. I don't have a house. I'm living from pillar to post. Boy, if I could just find me a vulnerable woman. Lord, have mercy. That'll be my Christmas present right there. Let me jump online. Because that's the quickest way to do it. That's what I'm trying to tell you, ladies. These dudes ain't playing out here. As the old folks say, I don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. Let me jump online. And let me show my biceps and triceps off and my chest off. I'm a oil myself up in some baby oil. Take some selfies. And put it online. Let me stop. Oh, Lord. Let me stop. All right. Go through some of these chats. It's crucial out here, people. You gotta. But that phone call I just got off of, that 22-year-old young lady from London, that stuck with me because she could easily be my daughter. That young lady could easily be my daughter. And any man wants to protect their daughter, but man, some wolves out here, baby. All right, Amy Sue said, I only wish my father had been in my life to tell me these things, but learning it on your own can be a painful but effective teacher. Yeah. You know what, LVNCRS, sometimes experience is the best teacher because that's how we gain knowledge. Making mistakes. Now, you can also gain knowledge learning from other people's mistakes as well. I had a brother that's 10 years older than me. And Lord knows I learned some mistakes from him. Woo! Because I saw him, some of the mistakes he made. My goodness. I said, nope, I ain't going down that route. All right, let's get to some of these chats. My dad has been in my life. You are so blessed. Amy Sue. Lady Ray said, my dad has been in my life all of my life. He has 7 sisters and that he helped raise. None of them are married. He has 3 daughters. None of us are married. I am trying to figure out what's going on. Thank you for that comment. But it's let me get this phone line. Hello, caller. Can you hear me?
Hi, yeah, I can.
Well, how are you doing this evening?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. What's your name and who am I speaking with and where are you calling from?
Yeah, so it's Ashley, ASHLEY from Canada again.
I remember you from.
I don't really have
from
any
Monday.
good updates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got?
Okay, so I don't have anything that I want so far from him, but yeah. So basically, I did see him. He's talking to me a bit more again, but yesterday I saw him, and I don't know if maybe I'm overthinking it or if I don't know why he did this, but he introduced me to another guy for some reason. Yeah. Is that weird?
Yeah, that's really weird.
Not like that, but the guy that he introduced me to I'm not from Toronto, and he's from Toronto, so he introduced me to him because we're both in the same place. But this guy is not my type at all. And I noticed when the guy asked me if I was living in Toronto, he kind of laughed. We looked at each other and kind of laughed because I lied and said no. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So is that kind of weird?
Well, okay. Let's make sure we're on the same page. Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he introduce you just in a cordial way? Introduce you to his friend, or you think he introduced you to his friend because those two had a conversation, and he said, "Okay, there's a lady at the gym that I'd like you to meet, and you two may hit it off."
No, I don't think they even know each other that well. I think he just introduced us because we're from the same place, but I just found it kind of weird. I don't know if I'm overthinking it or.
Oh, yeah. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, if you scratched off what I just said, I think you're overthinking it.
Mm-hmm.
Because.
Okay.
Okay. So since Monday, has he approached you again and tried to get your phone number?
No, he just said he'll just see me and say my name. That's it. Ashley. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't asked for my number though.
Okay. All right. And
so is he trying to shoo me over to that guy now? Or? I don't like him. I said maybe he's trying to shoo me on to the other guy, or I'm not sure.
No. Okay. Let me tell you how men operate. All right.
Okay.
See, when you're dealing with men like that, I don't know him, never met him, but see, there are some men out there that are so confident in their looks. Is he one of those extremely?
Oh no.
Is he an extremely nice looking guy or what?
Yes, very, very. The guy he introduced me to way, nowhere near him.
Yeah.
See, not my type.
Yeah. See. Now it's starting to make sense. Okay. See, there are some guys out there that just think that they are God's gift to women, and they think and they think that you, Ashley, you should be pursuing them because it's an honor for you to pursue them. So I promise you, young lady, if you give in and you go for that, what's going to happen is you're going to be in for a long ride that's going to end up in a lot of unfulfilled sex. If he has.
Oh, no. No.
I didn't hear you.
No. No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that with him.
Exactly. Okay. So.
Yeah.
Again, see, some guys. Okay. See. When you're dealing with guys some guys are just genetically blessed with good looks and whatnot, body type, whatever. Some guys are just blessed with that. Nothing we can do about that. Yeah. But see, he's getting so much attention from other women, and so when you're dealing with those type of guys, That's why I told you hold on to your female leverage, because the attention that he's getting from the other women, they've all given their female leverage away. And so once you give your
Yeah.
female leverage away, now that's been transferred to us. And what happens is our dominant instincts, we're just going to use you as a sex kitten, a toy. You're going to be a sex toy. It's going to be like a rotation. I got a sex kitten for Monday. I got a sex kitten for Tuesday. I got a sex kitten for Wednesday. I got a sex. No. Even if you did not have sex with him, he's still not going to take you serious, because you're going to be in that rotation where he's like, well, I'm just going to let her sit here until it's like being in detention. It's like being punished. Well, I'm just going to let her sit in detention until she, gives in to my wants and my desires. But see, he's trying to play it cool right now. So that's
Yeah, he is.
Hmm?
I'm confused. I'm like, didn't you think I was attractive like 2 days ago? But yeah.
Young lady.
Yeah, I thought you were trying to hand me off or something. I don't know.
Trust me. You're dealing with a man, once again, who has extreme confidence in his game. Extreme confidence. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. But you listen, the advantage is still on your side. Trust me. Every man wants what he can't have. Let me say that again.
Yeah.
See, men, we crave. We crave what we can't have. And so if you got this man who's extremely attractive, he's got the body, built up like a Greek god or whatever, and he's looking at you and he's like, well, why isn't she Googling, why isn't she going crazy over me? No, biologically, he's wired to go crazy over you and pursue you. He's just trying to play that cool role and say, nope. I am not going to show Ashley my hand and show her that I want her. So I would advise you, young lady, you hold your horses, you play cool. I promise you, sooner or later, he's going to approach you and ask you out. Now, it depends on how you handle it. But once again, that's when I would hit him. If this is a guy who you would like to get to know better, absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's when I would hit him with the email address. But I would let him talk until he's blue in the face to get my phone number, and then I'll just hit him with a nice compliment. I like your persistence. I'm not going to give you my phone number. I'll give you my email address, and then you put him in compete mode from there. But right now, he's in compete mode, but he's just in a way where he's not. He has his poker face on. And see, when we have our poker face on, we can't reveal to you how much we think about you. We can't reveal to you how much we're in the same vicinity of you and we want to approach you, but we're like, no. So we got to fight with every ounce of strength to restrain ourselves from going over there and talk to you. So that's where he is right now. And I would advise you, once again, just hold on to what you got. Because, again, if you relinquish your female leverage, you've inflated his ego. And you got to understand, his cell phone is full. Why would you want to put yourself in that position and get in that same wash, rinse, and dry cycle and spin cycle with the rest of those ladies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another question, just one more question, because I'm like dating for marriage now. So for marriage. So basically, do you think it would make sense for me to even say that he does approach me again and we do continue to like email and date or whatever, like go on a date? Do you think it's a waste of time? Because I like looks and everything, like it's fun, but I have enough like self-control where it's like I would rather date someone that's for marriage. Like I don't need to see him, if that makes sense. Like, do you think it's worth dating someone that's just attractive?
Yeah. Okay. I think I caught the majority of your question. You're saying could you repeat it one more time?
Sure. Like I'm just wondering, like maybe am I wasting my time because I'm dating for marriage and he's very attractive. Like he's beyond like very, very attractive. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm just wondering, like, is it maybe a waste of my time? Like, maybe I should not waste my time, or should I take the chance if we do exchange emails and go on a date or something? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You sound like a very young lady. I don't know your age. That really that's not important. But what I want you to know is what I want you to know is don't put your life on hold for any man. No man.
Yeah.
Do not put your life on hold waiting on him to come around. I'm just telling you from a man's perspective, you're dealing with a guy who has extreme confidence in his looks and what he brings to the table as far as physically. He wants to approach you, but if he does and you're attracted to him, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you have a vetting process in place that you can send him through that shows that you have standards, you got morals, that you have values, and he needs to abide by those things. And if he does that, that's fine. But if he doesn't, don't just, of course, see other men. Or, again, have yourself open to see other men. Because, what's his age, if you don't mind? What age category would you say he's in?
I don't know. I think he's probably like in his early 30s. I don't know.
Early
I don't
30s?
even know his name. I forget it.
Yeah. I thought now if you would have said he was in his 20s, I would have said
no. I don't think so. No.
Yeah. But again, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
When men approach you, and if I remember correctly, you said that he approached you on several instances, right?
Yes. It's been twice. Yeah.
Okay. Trust me, he's thinking about you. He goes home, he thinks about you because, again, from a competitive standpoint, men hate to lose. No matter how many different women we're dealing with in our phone or on dating apps or whatnot, we're thinking about the one who told us no. We're thinking about the one who we approached and we got absolutely nowhere. So he's still thinking about you. He's going to approach you sooner or later. But like I said, at the same time, don't be afraid or don't just limit yourself to wait on him. I mean, there are a lot of good men out there. No. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, like if someone else asked me, like I'm not going to be like, oh no, like of course I would still. Yeah, I don't even have his number or anything. But
there you go.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm thinking this way. But that guy that you're talking about at the gym, you would be surprised if you hold on to what you have as far as don't give in, let him pursue you, and I promise you, eventually he's going to pursue you. You would be surprised. See, those guys could make some of the best boyfriends, fiancés, husbands out there, because you got to understand. See, when a man is looking for a wife, when he's looking for his fiancé or whatnot, looking for his dream girl that he can take home to mother and be the mother of his kids or whatnot. See, men, we're looking for ladies with standards. We're looking for women who have values in place, and you don't come off of those regardless. And men are looking for a woman that they can hold to the highest esteem as far as respect. See, you got all those things working for you right now. You got his respect. He knows you have standards. He knows you have morals. He knows you're virtuous. See, he knows those things just because you're different from what he's dealing with right now. So, again, hold what you got. Don't change one thing. I think if you keep doing what you're doing, eventually he's going to approach you, and then those gentleman-like qualities that he has, I think those things are really, really going to come to the forefront, and you're going to say, wow, this is a pretty good guy.
Yeah, I don't think he's a bad guy. I know he has a lot of girls. I see it in the gym, but yeah, I'll take your advice and I'll hang on tight, and
All right. Well, thank you for calling, and don't be a stranger. I would love to know how this works out, but I know. Trust me, you're in the driver's seat right now. Don't don't even think twice about that. You're in total
All
control.
right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
All right, you have a good night.
You too.
All
Bye.
right. All right, phone lines are open. Man, let me tell you something, you ladies something about men. See, men, you would be surprised how men, some men's techniques are just flip the script. In other words, make it feel like they're the prize and you're supposed to pursue them. Make them seem like they're the 10, and if you want a 10, you gotta capitulate or submit to my desires and do what I want. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that, because at the end of the day, if you knew what was going on in our minds and in our heart, we really thinking about, God damn, I want that girl so bad. But some men are just good at what I call with that poker face, not revealing their true feelings. They just try and play it cool. They try and play it off. Man, I got this. F her. Man, I ain't, what? But at the end of the day, you're the one we thinking about. See, ladies, what you have to understand is men hate to lose. Men always thinking about the one. No matter where we met you at. We met you at the gym, if we met you at the sandwich shop, or if we met you at the mall, wherever we met you at, we talked to you, we asked for your phone number or whatnot, you tell us no. You're the one that we go home and think about when we lie down in that bed. You're the one that we think about, not the other 20 phone numbers that we got that day, because with those other 20 phone numbers, we're like, well, I'm just going to put in my 24, 48-hour rule. And so if I met you on a Monday, okay, I'll call her on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. I'll just let you sit, cool out. But that one that got away, the one that said, nope, can't help you. Why? Because men, we hate to lose. That's that competitive characteristic that we have in us. See? And I know some of you ladies may be thinking that it's, it's playing a game. No, it ain't playing a game. It's called nature. Men designed to chase women. Look, oh Lord, let me get this phone call. Hello, caller. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. Is that 850? That's Phoenix, correct?
No, actually, it's a Tallahassee number, but
Tallahassee.
I'm not in Tallahassee anymore. But because this number was part of my, on all my paperwork and all of that, I just kept it.
I got you.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's your name and where are you calling from, and what can I help you with?
Hi, I'm calling from Daytona Beach. And they call me Bunny, Bunny.
Okay.
And what it is, excuse me, hold on, let me get away from the television so I won't get confused with what I'm hearing. I was curious about something. This happened a while ago. I'm not dating anyone, or neither do I have an interest, at least right now. But it was a few years ago. I was dating a professor at Florida State University, PhD. And
hello? Hello? Man, that conversation was getting good. We must have had okay. Bunny, if you can hear me, our call evidently got dropped. I don't know if it was on my end or your end or what. That's not important. But if Yes.
Hi. I
Bunny?
guess that the call dropped. Yeah, I guess it dropped. I'm sorry.
No problem.
The call dropped. Uh, at what point? What was the last thing you heard?
I think you said you were dating a guy. He was a professor at Florida State.
No, he was. Hold on one second. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. No, he was a professor at Florida State,
Okay.
and this was during the time when my father was a president of an HBCU.
Okay.
My father is deceased now,
Mm-hmm.
but in the meantime, uh, a very nice person, all of that, and he asked me an unusual question, which I had never heard a man ask me before.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "I have the house, I have the car, I have the money. What is it that you bring to the table?"
Damn.
And it was like, to me, it was a dumb question,
Mm-hmm.
but it kind of blew me to the table. It's like, in my mind, I bring my womanhood to the table. That's what I bring,
Yes.
And so, lately, I've been hearing that is something that men are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never heard that before,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to get your take on what is behind such a mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
One quick question. This was someone who you were interested in dating?
Oh, yeah, we were actually dating and had talked about marriage and
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature. He wanted to be a college president. My father was.
Mm-hmm.
And, he also said that I'm rewording it, but
Mm-hmm.
the message was I wasn't good enough because he wants to be a college president, but he would need to have a wife who understands the presidency. And here, I was raised in the president's home.
Wow.
So, in the meantime, he let me go, and I think that was a beautiful thing as I think about it now. I didn't like it then because I did care for him.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a long time ago. But the reason I was calling was it appears that there is a male mentality. I'm not saying this is across the board,
Mm-hmm.
where the question is asked of a woman, what does she bring to the table?
Yes.
I personally don't like that,
Yes.
and I wanted your insight
Yes.
on what that might mean.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you for the call. Basically, what that boils down to is, you got men in today's world who've basically flipped the script and have presented themselves as the prize, and the woman needs to put her best foot forward to show that she's either worthy of his attention. So
Yeah.
what do I mean by flip? See, the only way that can happen is if a lady or a woman does not know her worth. See, if a lady or a woman, if you don't know your worth, then you will allow that game. And I always talk about game. Game has to, first of all, have a creator. And then the creator of the game has to have rules or a system in place that's going to benefit the creator of the game. So if I'm trying to get a lady to conform to my ideology, the first thing I got to do is I got to devalue her. And I'm hoping and praying she does not know her worth. Because if she doesn't know her worth, then there's a good chance that she's going to look at me as her savior. I'm the one, I'm your savior. I'm the one that can bring you up to a whole nother level. I'm the one that can bring you up to this whole new circle of people who you're not accustomed to being around. I'm the one that can give you this lavish lifestyle. I'm the one that can give you this beautiful home that you can only dream. See, you said that you were raised up in the president's home, so
Yeah.
you know how that specific genre works, but
Yes.
hold on to your value, hold on to your worth,
Oh,
because
definitely. Yeah.
if you don't, see if you didn't know your value, if you didn't know your worth, if you didn't know your female leverage, what can happen is what what he's putting out there, you can conform to that and say, you know what, I got to come up to a whole nother level just to be with him. But all I'm trying to get you to understand is, why is it a game? Because let's say he does become president one day at a university. See, at the end of the day, that's what he does for a living. That's all it is. I mean, if he becomes president of the United States, guess what? That's what he does for a living. Now, what are you going to do after 5 p.m.? What are you going to do after 6 p.m.?
Right.
So if I don't know the type of man that you're looking for, but it sounds like he did you a favor by revealing his true colors.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Because it was a good man at heart, and like I said, this was some time ago, and my reason for calling and asking is because I hear that a lot from different people talking about it, and it, and I had never heard that until some years ago. And you are correct. It's like, what do I bring to the table?
Yeah.
It's like, I almost want to say, man, you don't even you have. I am the table.
Yeah.
But I just wanted your insight, and thank you also too for your wisdom. I just wanted some insight as to the mentality behind that, because I had never heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I had no desire to respect that.
Yeah.
Does that sound? I hope I'm not sounding. I'm not trying to be crude.
No. Listen,
I had no desire, to, and I'm not one who is stuck on class or position or things of that nature.
Yeah.
I mean, both my parents, particularly on my mother's side, many of the relatives were domestic workers, blue collar workers, just fine, wonderful people. I have been attracted, in my lifetime to all kinds of people, and positions, and the thing that I think the common thread in my attraction was their what appeared to be integrity.
Yes.
Their morals.
Yes.
I didn't have what you call a type, so to speak, and I think that maybe had a lot to do with my father and my grandfather. Granddaddy was a train porter, my father a president, but they were very loving to people, very kind to people.
There you go.
Good husbands, good fathers, and so I was just curious. I saw your beginning shows, and it's like, okay, here's the new kid on the block. Let me hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
And I was very, 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 not only was I impressed, but I was very inspired by your your down to earthness, your simplicity. You say it straight, but it's very clear.
Yes.
But more importantly, I really felt that you really, really cared.
Yes.
And authentic. I'll put it like that. Yeah. And so, I haven't been able to watch a lot of it, but I just saw you on. And I said, let me talk, because some people you will hear, you will listen, and you will, respect. And I want to thank you for being brave enough to step out.
Yes.
One thing I learned is that the world will tell you what you bring to it,
Yes.
and by the responses that you're getting,
That's right.
But I got off track. I'm sorry.
No,
but
go ahead. Go ahead. You're fine.
Basically, getting back, it was the integrity that I would be attracted to, which this gentleman who had said, what do you bring to the table? There were other redeeming qualities about him that were good, I must admit.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think, no, I don't think, it was a fact that in time, as you learn a person, there were also these qualities or characteristics, I'll say, where I felt that he thought more highly of himself than he maybe ought to have thought.
Yeah.
I remember when he brought me back home to the campus, the president's home. Like I said, this is some years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My father liked him, but I think my father had a few concerns.
Mm-hmm.
And my father said, I had a feeling that he was going to drop you, because and Daddy expressed that he wished that this young man had the patience to really know the essence of me. I'll put it like that.
Yes.
And his thing was wanting to change me.
Exactly.
Or fix me, or something of that nature. And then my mother said, God rest her soul, she said, no, she can't do that, because Bunny, you're a free bird. I will never forget that. She says, Bunny, you are a free bird. So, but anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to just go on and on and on.
No, you're fine.
I just respect your opinion, and
Yeah, but see what you described, Bunny. I was talking about this in a few some of my previous videos.
Mm-hmm.
If what you describe is what I describe as the pawn shop mentality, and pawn shops are one of the most lucrative businesses in the world. They've always have been, and that's because the pawn shop owner or the pawn shop manager, they understand the name of the game is no matter what commodity the person is selling or trying to get rid of, they understand that they have to devalue it. See, so if a 5-carat ring is worth $1,000, they know it's worth $1,000. They have to devalue that thing and tell you, no, it's not worth $1,000. It's worth $750. And so sometimes if that person is so desperate, if that person is so hard up for money, they'll say, okay, I know it's worth I know it's worth $1,000, but I'll take the, $250 or whatever. Sometimes they're so desperate for money, they'll just go ahead and take the deal. See, there's so many women out there that are so desperate for men who they consider high value type men. They're so desperate for that they're willing to trade in their self-worth. And trade in all their morals and trade in all their values. Yes. And see, you're a lady that has convictions. See, you have morals, you have values, you have family values. It sounds like you have Christian values or whatnot. Sounds like you have, great family values that your parents have instilled in you. And you refuse to compromise those things.
Right.
And there are some men that look at you like, what? You mean you're going to turn this lifestyle that I can possibly give to you? Because
that sounds like when you said that.
What?
Let me go biblical right quick. It was like when at the temptation of Jesus, when the devil took him to the mountaintop and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and said, I will give you this. Yeah. And it was like, give you this? I owned it.
Thank
I
you.
own it.
Yeah, yeah. That's a great point.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's an excellent point, and I'm just so glad that I'm talking to a young lady who didn't fall for that, because you can see the outcome from the beginning,
Hmm.
and you saw where that was going to lead to. But a lot of men are just banking on, you better look at my credentials, but credentials mean nothing as far as your character.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I mean, it means, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants
Yes. Yes.
to feel some type of self worth.
That's
But if you're
right.
dealing with this new breed of narcissistic men, I don't know where it's coming from myself. But I'm seeing some
Yeah. And
men that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
what was so interesting is it threw me off. Not the type of throw me off where, oh God, I got to change myself. I'm going to lose him. It was for someone who was, and he's truly intelligent.
Mm,
That was for someone who, truly intelligent, had a lot going for him, and still does, I'm sure. It was the dumbest question I'd ever heard, and
yeah,
I was just like, I didn't have a paradigm for it. I mean, it's like it made no sense. It's sort of like, um, uh, if you're trying to make a decision about something, and you say, well, do I catch the bus or do I carry my lunch? I mean,
yeah,
what's the point?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
that's what do you bring to the table?
yeah,
I never heard. I
yeah,
never heard. I really, that was my first time.
yeah,
And now you hear a lot more of that. No one else has ever done that since
yeah,
that point.
yeah,
But that was just sort of weird. And it's interesting. You kind of, in describing that type, you actually described him at some level.
yeah.
He did have a good moral base,
Hmm.
but he was a bit cocky in that moral base. Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but
No,
keep talking.
listen. I worked in higher education, and
Yeah, I heard you
I
say that. Yeah.
I know that in some people, higher education can actually influence people in a negative way that would never ever like that. But sometimes in higher education, people start getting into these cliques. Sometimes they start rubbing elbows with certain people, and they say, "Listen, we like your qualities, but in order for you to excel, we need you to come on our team and play the game the way we want the game to be played." And sometimes some people in higher education just put down their values and put down their morals and their standards and say, "I'm all in it for the prestige. I'm all in it for the pomp and circumstance." And sometimes it makes them a totally different person than the person they were before they even entered higher education.
And it reminds me of. Oh, you might have some more calls. I don't want to hog the.
No, go ahead. No, you're good.
Um,
I'll stay up late.
uh,
I'll stay up to the last caller.
oh, what you just said reminded me. Daddy had to go to and I was helping him out that particular time too. It was either a NAFIO meeting or UNCF meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't like a national thing, but a lot of presidents were there, and it just so happened that there were a lot of new presidents, right? And when Daddy walked in, they said, "Oh, ooh, look at there! That's Dr. Bronson. That's Dr. Bronson.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that Dr. Bronson." And then they rushed him like like he was a rock star.
Yeah.
And so Dr. Akinley, who's now president of North Carolina Central University,
Mm-hmm.
he was Dad's special assistant. I said, "Hey, Dr. A, what's going on?" He said, "Buddy, you just don't to you, he's daddy, but to everybody else, he's he's bigger than that. But then Daddy was very unmoved. He was very friendly, but very unmoved by the attention. And his concern was in observing some of the new presidents. It was like he could tell they were overly proud of themselves.
Yeah.
And he said that, which we did experience. I mean, Daddy was never like that, but I'm just saying. And Daddy knew that within a week or two time, they were going to get a reality check. That's just what the weight of the office, we'll do life. We'll give you a reality check, regardless of what the position is.
Yes.
Yeah. And so yeah, you're right. And something like that can happen where people become overly proud of themselves in so many different areas for different ways. There's sometimes in relationships, people can get in relationships and they become very proud of the fact that they're in this relationship. It's a status symbol and things of that nature.
Yes.
And that person can almost replace God in a way.
Yep.
Yeah. And so, but I wanted just to hear your take on that. Bring to the table. What if you were a woman? How would you answer that question? What do you bring to the table?
You're saying if I were a woman?
Yeah, how would you, if a man were to ask you, what do you bring to the table? What would you say to them?
Well, if I were a woman, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would.
You walk away.
I would eventually walk away, but I would have to educate him on who I am as far as a female and the role of a female throughout the history of the world. And if he can't, if he can't see that, if he can't see a woman's worth and how the cycle of life can only be continued through a woman's womb and the nurturing qualities and all the great qualities that a woman possesses, my thing would be I would have to just beat him over the head and ask him, you didn't see your mother in action? You didn't see your grandmother in action? What did your mother bring to the table? What did your grandmother bring to the table? What did your aunties, what did they bring to the table? Because whatever they brought to the table, I bring to the table and more. Because I can be the mother of your children. I can compliment you. I can actually accentuate you, bring you to a whole nother level you never thought you could be. I can take your game plan and work with you on your game plan, and we can build something together. But that's the thing that I see so many young men overlooking when they come up with this thing about they are the prize, they are a high value man, and what are you bringing to the table when they ask a woman that? See, they don't realize that if those two are on the same page, the man and they don't realize how much they can build together. I mean, together if they're on the same page. But if he has this attitude like he's up here and you're on this attitude, he's looking at you like you're down here, and for you need to some type of way build your credentials or your accolades up or your social circle up just to show me that you're worthy of my time. They don't realize how much they're missing when they can find a woman who's committed to them, and once again, they build something together. So, again, I would hit him over the head first of all, ask him, what your mammy did. You ain't see your mammy in work. You ain't, what did your grandmammy do? Did you ask your grandmother what was her worth? No. He admired them. if a man would disrespect his mother, he ready to fight. He'd be ready to kill. He'd be ready to do whatever to protect his mother or his grandmother. So if he's willing to do that for her, that should be the same attitude that he should have had for you. That's just how I look at it. Those types. I promise you, young lady, he did you a favor. Because,
oh yeah, I know that now. It hurt me at first because for me it came out of nowhere, so to speak.
Yeah,
I'd never heard of that.
Yeah,
and but I wished him well. He did definitely do me a favor.
He did,
because I didn't need that, and it would not have been in my opinion, a happy situation.
No.
So,
and it sounds like higher education has really, really changed him for the worst part.
Yeah. In some instances, during the time Daddy was president, the black college presidents were more of a family because they had common issues that they tried to work out together.
Yeah.
And even as you go back, even though people during the civil rights and even before that, Jim Crow and all of that, there was something about a struggle.
Yes.
That brought forth dignity. I'm not saying that it was right.
Yes.
That the racism was right, but it's something about when you're struggling for something. There was more of a dignity, and what happens is you have higher education is no different from any other area because they are influenced by the signs of the time.
Yes.
Whatever the morals are, whatever the influences are, even if you can be a president and not be exempt from being influenced by something that's very low.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
so it's sort of like a disease. Just because you're a doctor doesn't mean you can't get COVID.
Amen.
So these are the things. It's that human. You even said it. That human nature, that flesh.
Yeah.
The flesh is not just susceptible to the sexual part.
Yes.
It can be susceptible to pride, arrogance. It can be deceived.
Mm-hmm.
There are presidents that have been deceived.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't mean, we've seen a lot of things. They were good people, but certain things happened, and somebody lied or deceived them, and it cost them their presidency. So I think what's going on in higher education is not just symptomatic to higher education. It's touching it's even touching the church.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, and that's why we have to have our own, in my opinion, our own relationship with Christ and so.
Amen.
But anyway, this has been a pleasure. I'm honored to have talked to you. I've been watching you and things of that nature, and I've literally been blessed. I said, now that's, I said, now this is good. Not that others who talk about relationships are not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I like the simplicity. I like it's almost like a brother's heart or a loving uncle or a father or you see what I'm saying?
Yes, I appreciate that.
You really, you really, really, really care. And even though I'm um, I'm older, we need to hear it just like a teenager or people in your 20s.
That's right.
Um,
Amen.
I I know some of the in fact in higher education, women with PhDs
Hmm.
are submitting themselves to abusers.
Hey,
You know,
I know a bunch
and
of them. You're right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So um, we all need it. That's one thing I really appreciate about my father. Even before he was the president, he was a minister, a pastor, and but he would always. I was the firstborn. He would always take me around,
Hmm.
and in his conversations and the men and the people he would be around. Now I know that they were people of wisdom. So it was natural for me, regardless of the vessel, to gravitate to what I felt was sound wisdom. And this
Yes.
is why I think I gravitated to your your channel.
I,
You know,
well, thank you so much, Bunny. I really appreciate those kind words. Thank you so much.
okay, well you're welcome. That I'm gonna go now. I
Okay.
don't want to hog. I don't know what I want other people to come in.
All
All
right.
right. Well, thank you,
All right.
sir. All right.
And don't be a stranger. Feel free to call in any Monday or Thursday.
Oh, okay. You have an email
I didn't
or
hear you.
I said, do you have like an email or something? I'm
Yeah.
sure you do.
It's if it's elderly, ELDERLY advice 100 at gmail.com.
Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not writing it down, but I'll just read.
Yeah,
I'll just read.
it's on my videos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Bunny. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you.
All
Okay.
right. Take
All right.
care. All right. Bye. All right. That was a great call. Let's make sure. All right. We're getting some great calls tonight. Excellent calls. Excellent calls. Phone lines are empty. I have 8:58 my time in Central Standard Time here in Louisiana. Uh, if anybody wants to call in, I'll be glad to take your call. If not, we could end it. But tonight, we got one on the line. Hold on. Hello, caller. Can you hear
Hello.
me?
Yeah, hi.
Well,
Oh
hello.
my
What's
God,
your
I
name?
can't believe I'm actually talking to you.
What, what,
I'm good.
what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the Philippines.
Wow.
My name is Zane.
Wow. Philippines. What
Yeah,
time
I
is it
watch
there?
you all the time.
Really? What
It's
time is it?
morning.
Huh?
It's morning.
That's what I. Yeah. What time, if you don't mind me asking?
I think it's around slightly before 10 a.m.
That,
I
that
don't know the actual time.
that's what I was guessing, somewhere in there. Wow. So
Hmm.
you watch my programming?
All the time, yeah. You've been so helpful. I can't believe you only have 2,000 subscribers.
Yes. Yes.
You deserve a whole lot more.
Well,
I just wanted to give you that affirmation.
yeah. I think eventually it'll start. You know, my channel really didn't start to grow until I would say maybe the second week of March, because then
Mm.
I think I only had maybe I want to say maybe 10 followers, and
Mm-hmm.
it was something. It was something that happened around that second week of March. I went from about 10 followers to the number that I have now.
Yeah. So just yeah, I think you'll blow up really soon.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank
So
you. I appreciate that. But what's your comment? You had a question?
I have a question, but it's kind of specific to me, and I don't know if the other women listening to you will get anything from it. But I just wanted to, because I've been dating a guy. So I got out of a really long relationship, and I just started getting back into dating. Um, I've been chatting with and seeing a guy since last year. So last year he was telling me that he thought if he talked with me long enough,
that I'd become his girlfriend. And I felt like he was pursuing me more at that time. But at that time, I wasn't ready. I started giving him a chance earlier this year when he said that he feels like he's not one of my priorities, but he feels like he prioritizes me. So I started, being vulnerable and started liking him back. But now I feel like I'm more of the pursuer. He does still call every day. No, not call. He just texts. I'm sorry. But he does make it a point to see me like twice or thrice a week. He's introduced me to his friends. Like 2 sets of friends. He invited me to go out on vacation this week with his family. But when I asked him like where this is going, because I don't like I don't do casual relationships. So let me correct that. I'm looking for a serious relationship. So I let him know that, and I was asking him if he saw me more than friends. He said yes. I asked him if he saw me as a potential girlfriend, and in our vernacular language, he said, "Yeah, I think so, maybe." So now I'm like, you told me last year you saw me as a girlfriend and you've been pursuing me. And now that I'm returning or reciprocating the energy, now I feel like the interest is dropping off, or now it's a maybe, whereas last year it was a yes. So I don't know what I should do, or if I should do anything. Because now I really like him, but I'm not sure he likes me the same way now.
How long have you two dated?
We've been chatting since late June of last year. And since then we've gone on around maybe definitely more than 10 dates. I'd say around 12 to 20.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. And he's nice. Like he's chivalrous. He's a gentleman. He pays for like most of our dates. So I don't know. The bringing me around his friends kind of confused me a little bit, because I thought I was like, hey, we're going somewhere, it's getting somewhere. But then in terms of his communication, whereas before, he would be the one to message me in the morning, like, good morning, and then all throughout the day, like, asking me what I'm doing, when I'll have time for him. Now that I've actually given him my time and I'm reciprocating, it's like he gives me very short answers when I do ask, hey, what are you doing? Or like today, I know he's online, but he's not greeting me good morning anymore. And I don't know if I'm overthinking it. But yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there. You don't have to comment. But I'm just going to throw this out there. And what's your name again?
Zane.
Zane?
Zane, yeah.
Okay, all right, Zane. So
like Suzanne.
Okay, I'm just going to throw this out there. And again, you don't have to comment. You really don't. But Zane, again, men have a way of acting, what I call BS before sex, and then AS after sex. And so usually, like I said, you don't have to comment on this, because I'm not even saying this is.
I'm okay. I can be like open with it if ever. Yeah.
But men will roll out the red carpet before sex. They will promise. Men will promise you the world. They will treat you. We will treat you like angels. We will, like you said, we will send you those texts throughout the day. Good morning, beautiful, and good afternoon, my soulmate, and good night, my angel. We'll send you those texts and leave voice messages on your phone all the time. But it's a funny thing that happens, as I said previously, AS, after sex. That's when those real true colors start to come out, and the real man that he is, those things start to be revealed. So I'm not saying that's what happened, but that's usually the case. Because if you can backtrack to and think about maybe that relationship, if it relates to it, or maybe a previous relationship that you've been in, the man was such an angel in the beginning. He was such a.
So I have a question regarding that.
I'm sorry.
For this specific, I'm just gonna ask, because I don't really have that much experience in that department with men, so my body count is not high. But with this particular guy, I will admit that we've had sex in the past, but even then, he still continued to be pursuing.
Yes.
And not all of our dates would be like with that activity. Like, I made it a requirement. Hey, if this is all you're after, well, I'm gonna cut it off. Like, we need dates where we actually get to know each other. Like, we'd go fishing. He'd take me fishing, or like, take me to places, basically. And I get to control when that happens. If I do want it to happen. So I guess that's where my confusion comes in, because I do expect that AS, he'd be different. But even AS, he was still gentlemanly and more on a pursuing energy. So I'm guessing now what I'm thinking, and maybe what I'm internalizing, is, did I do something wrong? Like, why did it change when I started? Like, maybe is it because like the chase is over, because I'm now reciprocating and showing him signs like, I can be interested in you, and like, are we going anywhere with this? Whereas last year, he seemed to be like, I thought you were gonna be my girlfriend. I want us to be exclusive. He was saying those sorts of things, even AS.
Yeah. See, Zane, you have to know this about men. See, you can't get caught up in what men say. See, you can't get caught up in that, because we will tell you anything that we think you want to hear. So if we think that you want to hear that you want to be in a committed relationship, guess what? We're going to say those things. If we think that you want to hear that you're looking for a man who wants to settle down and have a family, we're going to tell you that. But see, at the end of the day, Zane, it's only words. So you got to be very, very, very careful about your vetting process and how you screen men, and if your process only allows a system in which men can convey words, can speak, because we'll tell you anything. We'll tell you we're single and we're actually married. We'll tell you we're single and we're actually in a committed relationship. We'll tell you we don't have kids and we know we got kids, but it depends upon how we feel you want us to respond. So you can't get caught up in what men say, because we will tell you, once again, anything that we think we want you want to hear. Now, the other thing I want to throw out real quickly is that usually when a man has been pursuing you, and then he kind of eases back on that pursuit, and it kind of wanes or decreases, usually he's dealing with another woman. That's usually how it happens, because now his attention is focused on another lady, which is, if his attention is focused on her, naturally his attention is going to decrease from you. So that's usually what happens. Now his attention is focused on another lady, which causes him to not be as attentive and, the type of person that he was previously. Now I can't prove that with 100% certainty, but that's usually how it happens. He's dealing with another woman and he's like in pursuit mode of her. And so he's concentrated on her, which in turn will take his concentration away from you.
I think my confusion comes from because given my long relationship in the past, like I made a lot of mistakes on that relationship, including believing his words for a really long time and not his actions. Like I thought I was doing an okay job vetting because I didn't believe any of his words and just like tried to prove it over time. Like when it comes to his honesty, all the things that he's been telling me, I wait for confirmation. Like even his name, I didn't believe his actual name until I saw his driver's license, or like he told me about his child and his business, and it's only when I saw those things that I believed him. And that's why it took so long for me to to reciprocate, like from July of last year to just, I think, March. With regard to possibly dating another woman, we're not yet exclusive. So I guess that's fair. I am also talking to other men. It's just that I like him now. Whereas the other guys that I'm talking to, we haven't been intimate and I don't have emotional investments in them yet. So I'm hoping to pour into him. And I guess the confusion comes when his actions, like I guess in texting, is not the same. But just last week, he introduced me to his friends, like two different sets of friends. And then this week, we were supposed to go out of town. So I'm just wondering, like, if he has another girl that he's talking to, and he's introducing me to his friends at the same time. And if I had gone on that vacation, I would have met his cousins. I'm very confused as to the mismatch of, because like even my girlfriends are confused, and that's why I'm asking you. For me and my girlfriends, like that's a sign that he wants to, progress things forward, because that's essentially meeting two sets of his friends and then his family within the span of 2 to 3 weeks. I think we're seeing each other now twice or thrice a week in person. But the messaging, one, he doesn't like calls. So I don't know if that's, like my friends and I think that's a red flag. Why he wouldn't like calls.
That's a huge flag.
Yeah, so he... yeah, so he doesn't like calls. When he's with his friends, he sends me pictures of where they are, or he asks if he can video call me, but that's happened like 2 to 3 times at most. So I really don't know. Like the ones he's on vacation with, I don't know who they are yet. Yeah, so there's that versus his friends are now inviting me to join, like, they're launching a restaurant next month, and they're like, oh, you should come. I met his friends' wives, and they were asking me, oh, how long have you and Mark been dating? So I'm very confused. Like, would he do that if he just saw me as someone casual, bring me around his friends?
Yeah, see, again, when you talk about men and our friends, see, there's an old saying which is there's no honor among thieves. See, men, we have an unwritten code, and that unwritten code is, I mean, as far as our friends, our circles, that unwritten code is, man, I don't care who I bring around, don't say nothing. In other words, we're going to be quiet. We're not going to rat on our friends. We're not going to squeal on our friends. If we saw him with one woman on Monday, we saw him with a different woman on Tuesday, we saw him with another woman on Wednesday, we saw him with another woman on Thursday. We don't say nothing. In fact, we'll high five him. We'll say, "Damn, boy, you on a roll. Damn, bro, you doing it." So we our friends would actually. I'm not saying it's right, but our friends we would actually congratulate each other on that. So don't get caught up on he took me to see my friends, because friends are gonna look at you. They're going to extend their hand out. They're going to treat you well, but they're not going to tell you you're the fifth woman that he's introduced us to within the same week. They're not going to do that. Why? Because we wouldn't hang with them. We don't hang. See, we don't hang with those type of dudes who go back and tell, "Hey, Zane, come here, Zane. You know that you're the third woman that he." No, we kick them to the curb. Or those types, we can spot them a mile away. So don't get caught up in he took me to meet his friends, because they're just gonna go along with it, because that's what male friends, that's what we do. We like, and then when you leave, we may look at him and say, "Come on, bro, god damn, man. Now you know Zane is a good woman, you know this, but man, you introduced us to 6 different women within a month or a week." But at the same time, we don't say anything, because men, we don't get in other men's business. That's one of the quickest ways to end friendships. That's one of the quickest ways to get ostracized. So men, we see and we don't see. So just because he introduced you to his friends, that means absolutely nothing. And family as well. Family's not gonna say anything. So I mean,
So the only way I'll know if this is going somewhere. So from your perspective, this isn't really going anywhere, right?
in my perspective,
Am I understanding it correctly? Yeah.
no. I mean, from what you explained to me, I don't think it is, because see, I don't think it is in my perspective, because from what you explained to me, and I know men. See, men, when we have made up in our mind that you are the one, that we want to be with exclusively, you are the one that we want to spend the rest of our life with, you are the one that we want to be in a committed relationship. See, when we make up our mind, guess what? You're the first one to know it. Not only are you going to know it with our words, you're going to know it with our actions. You won't be able to get rid of us. We're going to be up under you 24/7. We're going to be all over you. We're going to shower you with gifts. We're going to, we're going to take you everywhere we go. We're going to be glad to introduce you to everybody all day, every day. So when our mind is made up that you're the one, like I said, number one, you're going to know it first. Then number two, you'll know it by our actions. And then number three, eventually we're going to say, look, let's make this thing official. Let's get engaged. I want to marry you. And then you go from there. But if you haven't heard anything that from him that's saying that, that he wants to be in a monogamous relationship, or any actions that indicate that, nah, right now you're basically, I'm not trying to be funny, but you're basically a sex toy.
Oh, that sucks. Okay, so I have one last question.
Yeah, and listen, I promise you,
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to cut you. I'm not trying to hurt you, but I'm just giving you my assessment just based upon what you said. Because men, when we serious, we're real serious about that. When we make up our mind that you're the one, we don't play about that. Because we could meet you and propose to you within 1 month. And we're like, man, this the one. Well, damn, you only known her a month. I don't care. I don't care if it's only been a month. This the one. I'm marrying her. So for us, it doesn't take us long at all. Once we make up our mind that you are the one, I promise you, it doesn't take us long at all. I wouldn't be surprised, some men propose to you in a week or 2 weeks. Because sometimes with men, it doesn't take us long. We just say, I'm all in. And if you haven't heard anything that, that leads you to indicate that he's all in with you, then that's just the way I see it.
That's okay. Like I needed the tough love from a guy's perspective,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
also why I listen to your channel. Because like, if I were to use my female mind, like obviously, or this is he's sending me mixed signals,
yeah.
and of course, since I like him, there's hope there, I guess. So, but now that you told it to me that way, I do agree with that because I was in a really long term relationship where he introduced me to everyone
Yeah.
and was like, yeah, was promising me everything, but it took so long and then it ended with a no. So,
Right.
I guess like my last question is, I don't know if, because because of that last relationship,
Mm-hmm.
that long one, I am older now. Um, I'm not. I don't have kids. I've never been married. Um, I also think like I I'm not as feminine because I see that a lot on YouTube. Like I'm kind of independent. I have my own business. The girl that called a while ago, like the guy was like, I have my own car, I have my own house. Well, I have those things.
Mm-hmm.
So, so it's really hard, I guess, on my end to find a guy, in a way for me because I'm older. This is what I'm hearing from YouTube, from the other guys who are on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess when you were talking about the pawn shop thing a while ago,
Yes.
that kind of struck a chord because now I'm like, I know my value,
Yeah.
but I guess like I've hit what they call the wall. I don't know if that's what it's called. Like I'm just worried that if I'm too picky or like I give my email address like you tell us to do,
Mm-hmm.
what if that means I'll end up being alone forever? Does that make sense?
You're asking. I think you're asking me a question. I'm not too sure on what the question is.
I think like what would you recommend to? Because there are some people that have a lot of options. Like when I was in my 20s, I had a lot of options,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
But when you're in your late 30s
Mm-hmm.
and you're realizing that your options are not as many as it once was, and that the guys that you normally go after, they're also seen as like, or they can basically have a wider market. If I'm gonna talk business terms, like guys my age, I'm turning 37.
Mm-hmm.
Guys my age are like basically attractive even to people in their 20s.
Ah, I got you.
So yeah,
Mhm.
and I think it's like it's realistic. Like as much as we'd like to say, oh, it's not true, or you have to value yourself a certain way, it's just a reality that I guess now I'm having to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my question is, what would your recommendation be to women who are of a certain age already
Mm-hmm.
and like finding a partner
Mm-hmm.
without having to? Because like for example, like right now there is someone pursuing me
Mm-hmm.
like really heavily. The problem is, and I tried to see past it, like I don't want to be superficial because I know I'm also not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried to overlook past, okay, I'm not as physically attracted to the guy. I can work that out. But in terms of like finances, we're so far apart. Okay, I'm willing to overlook that. But there's just, he talks to me about bicycle parts. I mean, like even on the conversation level, there's really like no interest there whatsoever. But I know that he won't break my heart
Mm-hmm.
and that he is looking for someone longer term.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just I can't with the conversation. It's just
Mm-hmm.
so. So I guess what I'm trying to say is like, should women of a certain age, what should their strategy be like in terms of dating?
Mm-hmm.
Where do we compromise if we have to compromise? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Let me just ask you this one question. What city are you located in the Philippines?
Manila. It's like the capital.
Trust me. I'm familiar with Manila. Not Zane. Come on. We're going to be real with each other for a minute. I know the population of Manila. It is a huge city.
100 million.
Easy.
No, the whole Philippines is 100 million. I think 20 million in Manila.
Yeah,
I think
exactly. So first of all, you got to stop letting someone's opinion influence you on how you look at yourself. See that's number one. Because why is that important? Because see, a man can spot when a lady does not have confidence in herself. And so if you're the type that allows someone else's opinion and that person does not even know you, they don't know what you bring to the table, they don't know your qualities, they don't know your values, they don't know the type of person that you are. See, if you're letting them have that much effect on you, then that's making you a less than desirable person. So number one, you gotta block out that noise. I mean, there are some good programming out there, but there are some, if you allow it to enter into your mind and you start to let that thing fester and you say, well, wait a minute. Is this person right about me? See, only you can determine your outcome in your life. Now, first of all, 37 is not old. I'm 54. Now, that's when you start getting up in age, when you start hitting, your mid 50s, 50s, 60s, whatnot. That's when you start getting up there. 37, once again, in my estimation, is not old. But what I would recommend you to do, first of all, is you got to have confidence in yourself. Now, you're in Manila. Manila is a huge city. Tell me what places do you go out or do you frequent? You get outside of your house, you get outside of your comfort zone. Do you go to actually meet quality men? Because I know this. The same thing that you're looking for, I guarantee you there's some quality men right there where you are that are looking for the same thing you are. But the hard part is meeting them. And that's very, very true.
Mm-hmm.
I live in a very small city in Louisiana. And I know they got good women here. And I know there are good men here. But how do you meet that person? Sometimes it takes perfect timing where, you're both at the same place at the exact same time. So that's the hard part. Mm-hmm. But, you in the Philippines with, in a major city like Manila, it sounds like to me that you need to, number one, raise your level of self-confidence, and then number two, be more outgoing, the places that you frequent. What places do you go to get out to because see, you're not going to meet anyone
during pre-pandemic.
Oh, I forgot about the pandemic. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, pre-pandemic, I actually I'm very active in like Toastmasters, and I even have like a weekly board game club. We go to. I was thinking of joining, like, I don't know if you have that, some business organizations here in Manila, but During the pandemic, obviously, like in the Philippines, we've been kind of locked down. We're the only country that had face shields, and my mom is immunocompromised, so I can't really uh, go out. Like I want to join a gym, but I can't because it's high risk.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so there's that. So I've been meeting people from online dating apps, which I know you don't recommend, but like that's the only avenue available for me.
Yeah.
Like right
What?
now with the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think with regards to confidence, I don't know if I'm the only girl that feels this way, but I'm very confident about my abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know I'm a good speaker. I know that I can, like what I bring to the table. I know I can at least provide for myself financially. I have a good head on my shoulders, and I'm very loyal. Like,
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, I think I pour into a guy when I'm really into him. I can be sweet and loyal. So even the non-tangibles, I think I'm fine. I think where I'm lacking in confidence is like um when it comes to dating in general. I don't know why, because I think I haven't, because I've been so loyal. It's not like I've gone on a lot of dates
Mm-hmm.
when I was in my younger years.
Okay.
Yeah, like yeah. So I guess like how would you recommend I build confidence on that front? Is it just a matter of faith, like just fake it till you make it, and also believe that there's someone out there for you if you set your standards high?
Mm-hmm.
Because my last ex, I would say like if my standards are high. He met them. I
Mm-hmm.
just didn't know he was a serial cheater.
Mm.
And I think that's also like affected my self confidence a lot
Mm-hmm.
because I just over time it just made me feel not enough. And then aside from that first time that he admitted to me that he was cheating, for the next decade, I'd catch him, but then he'd gaslight me.
Wow.
And so I kind of blame myself also for like letting that continue, but I think that's affected my self esteem a lot, and also my trust in guys um, as well. So yeah, how would you? Because I think capabilities wise, like if I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life, I think I'll be fine. But that's not what I want. In fact, I value that part of my life or that aspect of my life more than my career. Um, like yeah, I because a career is easy to get. It's just money.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm an only child. I don't wanna grow old alone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. There's a comment on the screen by a lady by the name of Lady Ray, and she basically took the words right out of my mouth. See, it sounds like, Zing, that right now you just need to take some time off and just heal. It's almost like you got in an accident and you cut yourself, and that cut just needs time to heal. Because if you don't let it have time to heal, and you go out and you start trying to be active again, that wound is not going to heal correctly. So I would advise you, don't be in a rush. Now, trust me, in your mind, 37 is not old. It really isn't. Because I know a lot of people who wish they could trade places with you right now and go back to the age of 37. It's not old. I just think that you've let some information that from someone's opinion come into your system, man, and you just took it for face value. Listen, you can't worry about what other people say. You can't worry about what other people do. See, right now, you remind me of that person who I talked about in the pawn shop. Because see, usually a lot of people will pawn their valuable goods because they're so desperate for money. Something has happened in their life where they're just so desperate for money. And it sounds like right now you're so desperate for a relationship. You're so desperate, to be to have a boyfriend, or you're so desperate to have a man, on your side. Listen, it's going to happen. But see, if you don't heal first, like who was that? Like Lady Ray said, and like I said, there's a reason why I put it up there, because she and I agree 100% on this. See, you got to heal first. Now, who am I to tell you how long that healing process is? I thought all the dirt and stuff that I did in my life, I never thought that I would actually meet a woman again who I thought that I would settle down and marry. And so I moved to Phoenix, Arizona back in 2007. Man, I met the woman of my dreams. And the first thing I did was I said, I learned from my past mistakes. I was healed. I said, you're the one. I'm going to marry this girl. She died of breast cancer. So guess what? Damn, I'm back to square zero again. All the women, the good women that I had in my life that I messed up with the cheating and the adultery and going to strip clubs and hanging with my boys and neglecting their see, all of those good women, I lost them. And then later on in life, I finally was lucky enough to find one that was, in my opinion, better than all of them, and she died. So what I had to learn about myself is I had to heal. Because I've met some good women since then, but I knew that if I would have jumped in a relationship with them, I hadn't gotten my ex who died, I hadn't gotten her out of my system. So I knew that I would not be any good for them, so I just had to tell them, listen, right now, it's just not a good time for me. And even though it's been years ago, I'll be honest with you, I'm still in a healing process. So I'm not saying yours will take as long as mine, but I just had to realize that, because if I'd have jumped in a relationship, what's the old saying? Hurt people hurt people. And I was like, nah, I've been through too much hurt. No. So I think, I don't know how long your healing process would take, but it just sounds from what you're saying, you've been hurt and you ready to jump right back into it. I wouldn't advise you to do that. Of course, you're grown. You're going to do what you want to do at the end of the day. But I would just advise you to take some time out from dating and just heal and focus on yourself. And you'll be surprised. It's almost like when you're not looking for it, bam. A lot of times that's when it happens. When you're not looking for it. When you're just focusing on yourself. But I honestly feel that, you've been hurt and you've been bruised so much. If you jump into another relationship, I don't think that you could really put your all into it because of the issues that you've sustained in the past from some of those previous relationships that caused you so much pain. Now, that would be my advice to you, number one. Now, it's up to you how you take it, but I really think if you just took some time off to just heal, take some time off for yourself, I'm not saying shut yourself off from the world, but just take some time to heal from these past relationships that, caused some trauma in your life. I think that would make a tremendous difference. And then you'll know because you'll start getting that pep back in your step. You'll start seeing yourself. You'll be more lively. You'll be more vivacious, and then that's a clear indicator that you past that. You're healed. But right now, I don't think it would be a good idea to jump in another relationship right now. Even if it was Mr. Right.
Okay.
I think if Mr. Right walked up to you right now, I don't think you could offer him the best version of you because, it just sounds like, you've been so bruised and injured you just need some time to heal up.
Thank you so much because I think I thought I was healed,
Yeah.
honestly, because I don't even think about it anymore, like on a daily basis. Like I don't even have the itch to message my ex. But now after talking to you
Yeah.
and then like almost crying, I think I did cry.
Yeah.
So I guess I have it just so buried deep down
Yeah.
that I didn't even realize that I'm not yet healed.
Yeah.
So I guess that's my takeaway from the conversation today.
Yeah.
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 Thank you so much for your time. I'm sorry I took so much of it.
No. You're fine. Thank you for calling in, especially with that huge time gap. And don't be a stranger. Feel free to call
Okay.
back whenever you like.
Thank you so much.
All
Have a
right.
good
All right.
day.
All right. Well, you have a good day. All right. All right. What time is it? I got 9:42 on my end. I'll take one more call if anybody wants to call in. But let me see. Somebody left a couple of comments. Somebody said, Aaliyah, bless you, Okoye. I'm sorry. Let me get this phone real quick. Good evening, caller. How are you doing tonight?
Hello, I'm good. This is Ray.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Lady Ray?
Yep, I'm good.
Well, good.
Um,
Go ahead.
so I just had I guess, kind of a question, but more so just I wanted to get your perspective on it. A few of the ladies and myself were speaking on it in the chat. So I have an idea that I would like to stay single until I am married.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to get your perspective, a man's perspective on that, because I do get that it kind of sounds a little outrageous to jump from essentially friends to
Mm-hmm.
marriage or engagement.
Mm-hmm.
But my perspective, just real quick, is just that I don't want to take myself off the market and essentially waste precious time or kind of exclude myself from other men that could potentially be the one, like kind of just playing house or just in this boyfriend and girlfriend dynamic when I could be, I don't want to say playing the field because I think that gives a negative connotation, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just essentially still remaining, dating and still getting to know this person. And then if he decides that he wants to take that next level, then that's that. But I don't see myself being a girlfriend.
Okay, so let's make sure we're on the same page. And again, thank you for
Okay.
calling. I really appreciate it. Okay, so
Yeah, no problem.
so you're saying at this point of your life, you don't want to date. You want to remain single until you get married. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but date as in I don't want to be in a relationship, like boyfriend girlfriend relationship.
Okay. So
I'm gonna date, go on dates, get to know men,
mm-hmm.
platonically, romantically, obviously without sex, but have multiple suitors, like courting
There
me.
you go. Okay, I got you now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I can't tell you what to do, but if I were if I were a female, that's the same thing.
Mhm.
That's the same thing I would do.
Okay.
That's what I would do if I were a lady. If we're on the same page, and I'm gonna lay it out. And if
Okay.
you agree, that means we're on the same page. See, if I were a lady, okay. Number one, I know my female leverage. I know that men are naturally wired to pursue women. I know that men love to pursue women. I know that men will pursue women. I also know that men will not pursue women if I make it too easy. I know this. If I'm a woman, I know what my worth is. I'm not going in that pawn shop. No. The hell with that. I'm going to remain with my valuables. Nobody is going to deprive me of my valuables. Nobody's going to put a set determined value on me and say, listen, you're on this level. If you want me, I'm a high value man. You need to sleep with me within a week. You need to sleep with me in 2 weeks. You need to go back to school. You need to raise your income. No, hell no. No, that might work on somebody else who doesn't know her value. But if I were a woman, like I said, this is how I would play it. I know my self-worth. I know that a man will only do what I allow him to do. So I'm not going to allow him to do those things because he's going to do exactly what I allow him to do. So I'm going to have my standards high. I'm going to date. Now, my definition of dating means I'm going to acquire data for you. It's going to be just like a job interview. I'm going to acquire information from you and exchange information about me to you to see if there's some chemistry, to see if there's a spark, to see if there's some compatibility. And if there is, right, we can build on that. But guess what? No sex. No sex.
Right.
No sex. And then, listen, ladies, this is only me. This is only me. I cannot, if I were a woman, I'm not telling any woman she needs to do these things. But for me, knowing how men are at our competitive level, I'm going to make sure whoever I'm dating, I keep him in compete mode. You're not going to get my number. You're going to get an email address. When you email me, I'm going to say, that sounds interesting. Let me get back to you. I'm going to keep you on hold for about 72 hours, 3 days. I may get back. After that, I'll tell you where we're going to meet up, the time and the place. When we get there, if the date starts at 7 o'clock, it's only going to last 1 hour because I know 1 hour is going to keep your competitive level up. It's going to make you respect me. It's going to make you respect what I'm doing. After the date, you are not going to walk me to my car. Why? Because if I allow you to walk me to my car, I know you're going to try and kiss me. I know you're going to try and hug on me. I know you're going to try and feel on me. I know you're going to try some type of way to extend the date and say, ooh, damn, that was a good kiss. Let's go to the cigar bar. Let's go to another restaurant. Let's go to a jazz. I know it's coming. So no. So at the end of the date, at the end of the 1 hour, so if the date started at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, it's over with. I'm going to give you something to keep your competitive level high. I'm going to say, I enjoyed my time with you. You seem like a very nice man. Let's do it again. I'm going to shake your hand. We're going to shake hands. I'm going to my car. You going to yours. You ain't walking me because I got a heater with me or a box cutter or something, but I'm going to keep that heater with me. But that's a whole nother level. Scratch that from the record. I'm sorry I said that. But I will keep that heater on me, though. I ain't lying. So if you don't know what a heater is, that's good. But I'd keep
I know what
it
it is, but I have a bracelet that turns into a knife. I don't got a heater, but I got a box cutter.
There you go. That's just as good. You know what, boy? You would make a perfect daughter for me because I like how you think. But anyway,
that is so special. Thank you. I'm taking that. That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, you ain't walking me to my car because I know what you're gonna try and do. You want to kiss. You want to try and stick your tongue down my mouth and all that, and feel on my behind and get me hot and bothered. And ooh, Lord, let's go back to your place. Yeah. Let's do that. Nah, you ain't playing me like that. You know, because women, you got to realize you got a flesh too now, and men, we know you got a flesh now.
Right.
And we trying to work on that flesh and see if we can catch you at a weak, vulnerable state. So I'm going to be one.
Now, I have a follow-up question since we're talking about,
Go ahead.
Being in heat. I know a few of the ladies in the chat, we were talking about our celibacy journeys. So in this context of dating multiple men and obviously abstaining from sex, what would be your perspective or approach and basically letting a man know when that time came that you're not interested in that? Because I was told not to let him know that you're celibate until it kind of gets brought up, if he attempts to do anything.
see, Lady Ray. Again, this is just me. This is just me once again.
Okay.
Men, we do not understand talk. So I would,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even tell a man I'm practicing celibacy. I just show him you ain't getting nothing. You know, see,
Right.
you can't tell. See, I would not tell a man I'm the type of woman that like to take things slow. I'm just gonna take it slow. I'm not gonna tell a man I'm a virtuous woman. I'm just gonna show him my virtuous qualities. Cause see, talk with us, man. We'll hear it and it's going one end clean out the other. We like, nah. I heard you want to take it slow, but if I get you in my whip, I get you in my ride. You getting in this E-Class Mercedes Benz, and I put the right music on and whatnot. You recline them seats, something gonna happen, you know, because I'm gonna set the mood for you. So again, see, talk with men. You got to show us. You know, you don't tell us you're a Christian woman. Show us you're a Christian woman or whatnot. Don't tell us you got values. You got to show us you got values. And then when we see those things, we're gonna be like, oh yeah. But I like your thinking where you talk about having multiple suitors. See, once again, if I were a lady, that's exactly how I would play it. Not only would I play it like that, I would be honest and tell each one. I'd tell them myself. Look, hey, Michael, listen, I'm being honest with you. Just being honest with you. Yes, we're on this date, but I'm going to be honest with you. There's a guy by the name of Timothy that I met a couple of weeks ago, and I have been seeing him as well. But guess what? No sex. So, see, that would be me. I would be honest, and I wouldn't have a problem telling them that. Why? Because see, if ladies, if you don't understand this, well, hopefully you may kind of get a understanding. I know it's kind of hard because you're not a man, but I promise you, it's something that makes us come to another level when we find out another man is on the scene, when another man is pursuing you. And when we find out that the table or the playing field is level. In other words, okay, she was honest with me and told me that she saw someone or she met someone 2 weeks ago or 2 weeks before me or a week before me. That's normal. If a man can't accept that, he has no business out here dating. Because
Right.
if a man, men, we know if we're interested in you, we know there are other men interested in you. And especially in the initial stages, and he thinks he can just walk in off the street and put you on lock within a week or 2 weeks or a month or hell no. No. So if I were a lady, that's how I would do it, because I understand men, we are at our best when we competing, especially when we know that there's another man that's competing for you as well. That brings out the best in all parties. See, that's what made the courting system so beautiful. I'm pretty sure you may have heard your mother or your grandmother or maybe your great grandmother, if they're still living, they may have talked about it.
My grandmother had 11 children.
Yeah.
By 3 different men. She wasn't being courted.
I got you.
No, it wasn't courting, but I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. See, let me see. Chantel said, but wouldn't that make men back off? The reason why is because, I think we've taken dating, and dating has been equated with sex.
Right.
I think we've taken that word dating, and as soon as someone says, okay, I'm dating this person, that means I'm sleeping with them, we're having sex or whatnot. I think if you're honest and make sure you define what dating means. Dating means, listen, we just getting to know each other better. I got options.
But even then, the men are like, they think that if you're just going on dates with these men, they think, oh, she's just trying to get free meals with all these different men. Like they either think that you're sleeping with them or just using them for the multiple dates.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah, it really is. But in other words, let me tell you how men operate. when men are meeting women for the first time in the initial stages, men are not throwing away all the contacts that they have in their cell phone just because they met a woman that they're interested in.
Right.
They're going to date that woman, get information from her, see if there's a connection, but they're still going to have these here. Men, we don't bet the ranch and bet the whole kid and caboodle on somebody that we just met and start calling and texting people saying, hey, Barbara, it's over with. I met Miss Wright. Don't call me anymore. Hey, Cynthia, it's over with. Don't call me anymore. I met Miss Wright. Hey, Marie, it's over with. Don't call me anymore. No, we don't do that in the initial stages. We still conversate with Marie and Barbara and Cynthia and Tanya or whatnot until we see something in you that'll make us say, you know what, I quit the rest. I'm all in with her. So, again, I'm not telling women to fight fire with fire. I'm just saying that I'm a firm believer if you are honest. See, men, we listening to what you say. We understand if we're just meeting you, there's always a good chance that you conversating with somebody else. Because the same way men are having their cake and eating it too, I can't prove it with 100% certainty, but I know some of you women, your DMs are blowing up. If you wanted to, you're meeting men. I'm not saying you're attracted to them or not attracted to them, but if you wanted to, your cell phone could be full too. Easy.
Right.
Way, way much more than men. But men understand this. So I wouldn't say the comment said that wouldn't that make men back off? No, because we already know this. We already know if we're interested in you, other men are interested in you as well. If I were a lady, I would let him know, hey, listen, I want you to know that we're just dating. That's all it is. But I met somebody before you, and I'm seeing him too. But it's no sex involved. I'm trying to I'm presenting myself. See, you gotta look at this thing just like a job interview. If 10 different companies offer you a position, are you just going to take that you're going to go to one job interview and say, okay, I'm going to take this job as CEO of, this corporation and not see what the other 9 have to offer? That's how I would look at it. So if you're the type that you got 10 different job offers, you jump on the first one smoking, hey, that's up to you. But men, we understand honesty and we respect honesty. So if I were a lady, a woman, hey, I would make sure I increase his level of competitiveness and say, listen, you want to compete for me? I'm the prize. How can you call yourself the prize if you don't have a system in place that makes somebody compete? There's got to be a competition for every prize. That's just the way I look at it. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't say anything. You probably hear my dog in the background. Yeah, that's pretty much all I really wanted to know, and just get your male perspective on it, because a lot of us in the chat are really gonna go that route. I believe I'm seeing what they're saying.
To open yourself to dating multiple guys.
Yeah, I'm just saying single until taking that step for engagement, not becoming a girlfriend, skipping that step essentially.
I don't blame you one bit, because if you go the other route, dating, sex, casual sex, basically you're going to be a lease with an option to buy, and 9 times out of 10 they are not going to buy you, meaning that, okay, I'm going to wife you up. Nope.
I don't remember who the gentleman was, but he said it so eloquently. I'm probably going to butcher it, but he basically said, women always keep a car in their parking spot, but their husband is looking for a parking spot.
See?
I just butchered that. But if that makes sense, you always have a boyfriend when your husband is coming around. You always have somebody in his spot. How are you going to find him?
Yeah.
So,
that's a good point.
But yeah, thank you. I got to take my dog out.
Okay.
So thank you.
All right. Thank you for calling. You have a good night here.
Bye.
All right. Great call. Anybody else want to call in? Well, it's 10 o'clock on my end. How many we got in the chat? We got 34 in the chat. If anyone would like to call in, the phone line is open. If not, we can, somebody text me. If not, we can shut it down. Somebody said R.C. Blake's used the parking lot analogy. I think, if I'm not mistaken, R.C. Blake's, I think that was his daddy who was, I think that was his father who was in New Orleans, I think. Had a real deep voice. But he was an excellent preacher. I think R.C. Blake's, is he a junior? Could someone answer that for me? Somebody said Scott. Yeah. All right. So I'll just hold on one more minute or two, see if there's another call. If not, we got 39 in the chat. Somebody, Lady Ray said he is a junior. Okay, so that must be his father. Was a preacher in New Orleans, I think. Yeah. All right, Estella Mack said yes. Yes, said yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's his father who died. Wow, that's a small world. What city is the son in? R.C. Blake's. All right, Anika said yes, that's his father. Yeah, had that deep voice, and I want to say he had a church. I think he opened up a church in Baton Rouge, right here, if I'm not mistaken. The father did, I think, but I know the father had a church in New Orleans. All right, so Scott said, "Yep, New Home Baptist Church." Wow, this is a small world. Oh, it's Houston. I'm sorry. Okay. I thought it was New Orleans. I'm sorry. Oh, New Orleans and Houston. Okay, there we go. All right, so it seems like the phone calls are done for tonight. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the chat. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. We will pick this up on Monday. Have a great weekend. And somebody said, yeah, but Sam Blanks has, so there's still a Baton Rouge location. I got to look into that. Yes, but once again, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Everybody have a good night, and I will see you on Monday. Have a good evening.